Hello, my bookish friends! Welcome back. I am Elizabeth. This is Reading Riley, and today we're doing a book haul. It's a book haul. It's a book haul. That's what it is. Don't look at them. Don't look at them. Let's talk really quick about why I don't do book hauls very often. The truth of the matter is that if you've been watching my channel for any particular amount of time, that I simply do not read physical books very often. Like, I read via audio almost exclusively. When I do acquire physical books, typically I've already read them and I buy them because I loved them and I want them on my shelves. I have a couple of stacks here. The first stack I'm going to show you are books that I have already read and probably talked about in prior videos, but I've just acquired the books, and so I'll go over them a little bit more quickly. And then I'll talk to you about the books that I have acquired that I have not read yet and that I'm really excited for. These are in no particular order. Let's just go ahead and get started with the books that I've already read. The first one I just read, The Best of Friends by Lucinda Berry. I still don't even know if I'm giving this 3.5 or 4 stars. I think I'm gonna end up with a 3.5 for this. It's about these 3 women. It's 3 different perspectives from each of the women. They each have sons that grew up together, and there's an incident. One of the sons is killed, one is left in critical condition, and the other is not speaking. So for the whole book, we're trying to figure out what happened. Great writing, as always, from Lucinda Berry. Happy to have acquired this. I got this at Half Price Books, which they never have Lucinda Berry books, and I finally found one, so that's exciting. Speaking of Lucinda Berry, I have The Perfect Child. I finally got a nice hardcover copy of this one. One of my favorite books of last year. Loved this one. It just blew my socks off, and I can't be for certain, but I follow Lucinda on TikTok, and she has implied that there may be a sequel coming for this. So yeah, can't wait for that. If you don't know what this is about, it's essentially this couple who are having fertility issues, and they decide to foster this young girl who comes in to the hospital that they both work at, who is severely abused. We start with the perspective of the social worker talking to the police about what happened, and we go back and forth and get the perspectives of both of these parents and the relationship with this young girl and how it unfolds. So from the very beginning, we know something real messed up happened, and then we have to go back and figure out what it was and how we got there. Immaculately written, shocking, so many twists. Just a great thriller. If you're interested at all, pick this one up. Next, we have Pignon Scorbion and the Barbershop Detectives. This is by Rick Bleiweiss. I was sent this by the publisher and read it in August. I gave this 3.5 stars. And if you want just kind of a cute detective novel, Sherlock Holmes-esque, a Poirot-esque mystery, then you might enjoy this one. It's set in this barbershop for the majority of it, and it's just this group of people getting together trying to solve a mystery and use their wit. Next, I have finally acquired a copy of Daisy Darker from Book of the Month. So I'm very excited to own this. I read the ARC copy that I got from Beth and sent back to her because we're kind of like swapping books. But I got a copy of my own, and I'm really happy to have it. I loved this book. I know like it's gotten some mixed reviews, but I gave it 5 stars. If you want atmosphere, if you want quirky, this is again kind of more along the lines of a mystery, but it does have those twists that Alice Feeney is known for. It's got Halloween vibes. It's got old mansion on the ocean vibes. And people start dying one by one, a la Agatha Christie, done in a way that it still remains its own unique thing, while also being influenced by Agatha Christie, which I completely respect. 5 stars, love it. Another book of the month I've acquired is Upgrade by Blake Crouch. I believe I gave this one 4 stars. Not his best work. I would recommend either Dark Matter or Recursion above this one, but I still think this was fun. It was just not as original of a concept. If you've ever seen the movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper, very similar to that along those lines, but great character work, fun, fast-paced sci-fi thriller. These next couple I acquired just because I wanted them in my collection, like most of these. This one is one that I really loved last year, and that is Shiver by Ali Reynolds. It started as a reunion, it ended with murder. This is an isolation thriller trope told in a dual timeline with this group of friends. I like to compare this to In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead because it's got that kind of same dynamic where one of their friends goes missing and they are meeting back up several years later, trying to figure out who it was. Everybody has secrets, they're all getting revealed. This is nothing new like as far as plot goes, but the writing was really well done. The characters are really well done. And of course we have Snow in Isolation, which I love. All right, another one of the books that I have fallen in love with, and I highly recommend the audio for this one in particular. That is Fantasticland by Mike Bakoven. I just had to have it in my collection because I loved this audiobook so much. One of the best audiobooks I've ever listened to. The acting is like so amazing. There's only 2 narrators and they're playing about like 12 or 13 different people, I think, and you can't even tell. They all seem so unique and so individual. This is based on Lord of the Flies. Not based on it, but kind of inspired by it, I suppose. And it's set in Fantasticland, which is an amusement park in Florida. And this huge hurricane comes in and all the employees get stuck, like 200 or so employees, I think it was, get stuck in this amusement park because they have provisions, they have food, they have everything they need. They're very, very low on the list to get rescued because there's so many other people that need help. So they are there for weeks. They don't know how long they're going to be there. Their cell phones aren't working. They have no connection to the outside world. Most of them are teenagers. They end up turning on each other and it gets really ugly really fast. You do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit with how fast it goes there, but if you really think about, like, you don't know when you're going to get rescued, you're scared, one thing happens that scares everybody and then shit hits the fan. It's told in interview style, which I love. Each chapter is interviewing a different person after the fact. And so you're getting the story kind of like a Daisy Jones and the Six type style. And you know at the beginning that it went south, that it went wrong. But as you get the perspective of more and more people, the truth of what actually happened takes shape and is formed. And as the reader, you get to kind of discover that along the way. And it's just such a fun book. And it's a fun horror book. Definitely recommend this. Another book I have acquired is Any Man by Amber Tamblyn. I know I won't shut up about this, but this book is so incredible. It's horror, it's social commentary, it's about sexual assault, so many trigger warnings. Please look it up. It's written in this beautifully poetic way that kind of flirts with the line between prose and poetry. All kinds of mixed media in here, and the thing that makes it original is that the perspective is turned on its head, whereas when you think of sexual assault, and this of course was written during the height of the Me Too movement, it's about believing women. But in this story, we have a female predator who is sexually assaulting men in these really, really messed up and devastating ways. And we're getting their perspectives. And we see when the tables are turned, how silly it looks when we don't believe them, which all has so much more to say about women. I'm not gonna babble on because you probably have heard me talk about this forever, but so freaking good. And I have 2 more books that I've already read, but it's actually one book, but 2 different copies. And that is A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. I ordered this copy and I was looking it up and I was like, you know, I've seen this other copy of it in the UK that has this pineapple on it. And I was like, oh my God, that's so gorgeous. I need that copy. And it was not available to buy in the US. And I ended up posting it on Instagram and I tagged Chelsea and she messaged me and she said, you know what? I will send that to you if you make a donation for women's health. And I said, are you fucking serious?
Yes.
Yes, I will do that. I would do that anyway. So I did, and she did, and I got this. And it's so beautiful, and you guys, it's signed. Can you please? It says, Elizabeth, eat what you love. Chelsea Summers! And there's a knife drawn in here. Like, how freaking amazing is this? How freaking amazing. I will treasure this for literally the rest of my life. Oh, and this is a little note that came in it. A plate. So apt. If you don't know what this book is about, this is a really voicey story about this woman, Dorothy Daniels. And I don't know, she's not Southern, but I can't say her name without it being Southern. I don't know, she reminds me of a Golden Girl or something. Dorothy. She's a food critic. She is a cannibal. And there's not a whole lot of plot going on in this book. It's all just kind of following her as she talks about food, eats people, goes through boyfriends. She owns her sexuality. She's a very sexual woman. It's just like her character is like, this is the good for her book that you've been looking for. This is it. A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. Buy it, read it, love it. The end. Okay, now I want to get into the books that I haven't read yet and that I'm really excited to get to. So let's start there. First of all, this one was sent to me by the author, and I am such an asshole. I have not read it yet. I read the original story, and I have not read the new version, but I need to. It's Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke and Other Misfortunes by Eric LaRocca. So this is the novella, Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke, which I absolutely loved last year, and then this has additional stories. So this is something I really want to prioritize. I loved Things Have Gotten Worse. I've been meaning to get to this. I wish I had an audio for it. But honestly, it's not that long. I just need to prioritize it and get it done. Eric LaRocca is another author who's just like super personable, very active on Instagram. So go follow them if you haven't already. All right, this one I've seen on TikTok and I'm just really interested in it. It's horror and it is called Plastic Monsters by Daniel J. Volpe. This book is about this woman who's obsessed with beauty and obsessed with staying young. I think this is going to have some social commentary in here about women and beauty and the measures we will take in order to feel validated by someone else, which is something that I know I struggle with and a lot of people struggle with, so this is really interesting to me. So essentially we're following Pam, and she keeps having work done, and she just never feels satisfied, and then one day this woman comes into her office and she's got a new boob job, and she just cracks under the pressure. She can't handle it. There's also this doctor, Dr. Joseph DeBuro. He used to make art from flesh and plastic and went to prison for that. Now he's out, and I think he's a janitor or something now, but he wants to work on this new project, but he needs the perfect patient, and that is where Pam comes in, and I think they're going to work together to make something absolutely disturbing, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be disgusting and foul, and I can't wait to read it. Okay, I'm not really sure what to expect from this next one. This was so graciously sent to me by my beautiful friend Meg. First of all, I'm obsessed with the cover. I think this is literary fiction with horror elements. I'm not really sure, but this is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. Look at this cover. Look at this cover. Okay. It's gorgeous. Okay, so this is following two women. Their names are Miri and Leah. Leah went under the water for some kind of deep sea mission that ended in catastrophe. I don't know what happened. I don't know what it is, but it traumatized her. Whatever it was, she came back up. She's not the same person. It's giving me like zombie vibes, but I don't know if that's where it's going. I'm just guessing. This is about the struggle in their relationship after Leah gets back, and Miri has to come to terms with the fact that she doesn't know that her partner is ever going to be the same again. They have to go through this loss and this grief together. What? A story of falling in love, loss, grief, and what life there is in the deep, deep sea. Just yes. Thank you so much, Meg. Thank you for sending me this. Let's talk book of the month. I've got a couple here. First one is Killers of a Certain Age. This is by Deanna Rayborn. It's kill or be killed, but they've been at this a long time. This is about this group of 4 women who are best friends, and they are all assassins. They have been with this secret clandestine organization for 40 years. They're taking this trip to mark their retirement together when they find out they have been marked for dead by one of their own. And so this entire book is them trying to escape and survive together in a time when these skills that they have are not valued as much. But something tells me we're going to find how valuable they actually are. And I think they're going to be badasses. So this one sounds exciting. I've not read this author, but I mean, this cover is enough. That's all I need. That's all I need. Thank you. Okay, this next one, I actually was convinced to read this one by Meg, who sent me Our Wives Under the Sea. Also, Jordan read this and piqued my interest in it, and it's a little bit different than my typical genre. I think it's like it's not a romance.
It's like sci-fi with a romantic thing that's happening, but it's not. I don't know if it's literary. I don't know what it is.
It's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. From what I understand, it's about 2 people. They were like best friends when they were kids, and they both grew up and designed these video games, very much giving me Ready Player One vibes, which I love. I think it's gonna be about this dynamic between them, and not necessarily this like love, but like an unrequited thing that shapes them as people and who they are and how they move through the world and how they affect each other. I think it's gonna be something like that. And it's got like video games and fun stuff in there too, so it sounds amazing. This next book was sent to me by the publisher as well and came with this whole box of like fun goodies and stuff. It's a time travel book, so my interest is piqued. Leaked. It's called Lost in Time by A.G. Riddle. We're following this father and daughter. The father invented this machine where you can essentially throw things back into the Triassic period. He admits to a crime that he didn't actually do in order to save his daughter. His punishment is the ultimate punishment, and he gets sent back to the Triassic period. It's just basically, it can't come back. It's just a means of disposal, just throwing things and people back in time to get rid of them. Then we're also following his daughter, who is in present day, who is trying to uncover some secrets that are going on within this organization that her father worked for. They may be covering some things up, and she's got to find a way to figure out how to get back to her dad, because somewhere 201 million years ago, he's still alive, running around with fucking dinosaurs. So that's Lost in Time. This next book was sent to me by the author, and I'm so excited to show you this one. It is called The Art of Darkness by S. Elizabeth. First of all, can we look at this cover? Look at this cover. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is a source book that is filled with art. The art in here is so freaking gorgeous and macabre, and like, if you're interested in dark themes like I am, y'all, this is something that's gonna like sit on the coffee table, that you can look through, that you can read about all these different art. Oh my God, look at this. It's haunting. It's absolutely haunting, and I love it. All of the art in here is morbid, is macabre, is melancholic, for the cultured goth chick that you've always wanted to be. This is it. So thank you so much, S. Elizabeth, for sending this to me, because I cannot wait to just go through this, look at all the pictures, learn a little bit about the art, and it's just like one of the most gorgeous books. Thank you so much for sending me this. This next book is a kind of memoir of sorts. It's a nonfiction written by Ronald Kelly. This is called Southern Fried and Horrified. Another amazing cover. He is a splatterpunk author, and he's been around for a long time writing splatterpunk, and this is his story about essentially his life, but it also has like writing tips in here, different essays, lists of his favorite books and movies, and just kind of like his life overall and how it is being a splatterpunk horror author, which I think sounds really interesting. Okay, from a little free library, I saw this one, and I have read from this author before, but it's been a long time. I don't know if I am a huge fan or not, but I just picked it up, and we'll find out, because I do have the audio for this, and that is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. So this is the story of a mother and daughter. The daughter, Ellie, disappeared 10 years ago. No trace of her. Nobody knows where she went, if she ran away, if she was kidnapped.
What the hell happened to her?
10 years later, her mother, Laurel, is she dating somebody? She meets this charming man in a cafe, and before long they start getting to know each other, and she meets his daughters and his family and is shocked when she sees that one of his daughters is the spitting image of her daughter. So this spurs her on to investigate and figure out what actually happened to her daughter. Is that her daughter? I don't know. There was a movie in the 90s with Michelle Pfeiffer and the kid from the Leprechaun Disney movie, At the Deep End of the Ocean. I'm kind of getting that kind of energy. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'm probably aging myself, but if you remember that, it's giving me that kind of energy. And so I'm interested to check this one out, see how I feel about it. I don't know about Lisa Jewell in general. I don't know. I've read The Family Upstairs, and it was okay. I don't remember it. It was years ago. I think that's the only one of hers I've read. All right, next. This one I've had on my TBR for months and months and months, and I just can't get around to reading it because there's no freaking audiobook. Although it's very short, I just need to read it. I just need to do it. And Then I Woke Up by Malcolm Devlin. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on this. Social horror about fake news and what's real. And essentially there's this disease that's going around that alters your perception of reality, and people are seeing zombies everywhere, but are they actually zombies or are they not? And so you can see where the commentary is going about believing things that are not necessarily true, and it's supposed to be really weird and interesting. I think it might be my kind of weird, so I'm excited to find out if it is. Lastly, this book was sent to me by Beth from Beth's All Book, because she's just a freaking sweetheart, and I really don't even know what it's about, but I've heard so much praise for this book that I am so excited to own it. I don't think this is the kind of book that has an audiobook, because it's got illustrations and stuff in here, but I could be wrong. Anyways, that is Slewfoot, A Tale of Bewitchery by Bram? Just Bram? Not Bram Stoker.
Should I know who Just Brahm is?
Connecticut, 1666. Damn, this imagery off the bat. These are his paintings that are in here. This is like a Puritan versus paganism thing. There's an ancient spirit that awakens in the dark wood. The wild folk call him Father, Slayer, Protector.
I'm terrified already.
I am scared. And then we're following Abatha, who is an outcast from the village, and she goes to this ancient spirit for help and probably gonna sell her soul to the devil. Am I getting Addie LaRue energy? Maybe a darker Addie LaRue, but oh my gosh, you guys, some of these freaking pictures. These are his own paintings? That's incredible. Oh my God, terrifying. Look at how creepy this is. Can you see it? Oh my God.
Just no, I'm not fucking with that thing. No.
Do not fuck with that thing. It says Bram is currently kept in a dark cellar somewhere outside Seattle, Washington. Bram, who are you? Why do you only have one name? Who do you think you are, Cher? I don't understand. Do I need an awakening for this? Because I think I might, because I've heard some like really good feedback about this. It's gonna be haunting. I can already tell. That is my book haul, my most recent book haul. I'm so excited to get these on the shelves and put them in order, although I'm not going to do it this moment because I'm lazy. Let me know if you've read any of these, and of course if you have any other recommendations. I'm always happy to have recommendations, especially thriller, horror, sci-fi, anything speculative. And that's going to be it for me today, y'all. Don't forget that life is short. So read Riley, cheers, and goodbye.